When the 1988 International Catering Trade Fair opened on June 25th at the Sydney Showground, it was the biggest display of food service and hospitality supplies ever seen in Australia. Everything relating to the industry was on show. The exhibition is the only event in the country which caters for the entire hospitality industry, presenting new products, equipment and ideas for hotels and motels, restaurants and cafeterias, and industrial and institutional caterers. It's a fitting time for the Champion College of Australia competition for the Golden Chef's Hat Award to be staged in the nearby banquet hall of the showground. The competition, sponsored by Nestlé Food Service in conjunction with the Catering Institute's Guild of Cooks, enables students from Australian colleges of technical and further education to compete as teams of young apprentice cooks. Organiser Barry Wright from the Guild of Cooks explains.
With the first Champion College competition, we had teams of 4 competing from most of the states in Australia. But with the cutbacks in funding and manpower available at the food school colleges throughout Australia, this wasn't possible. So we felt that it was important that we reduce the teams down to 2 people to enable them to have that experience of working as a team that can only be gained in that way. The concept of a mystery box for this particular competition was to enable all the competitors to have an equal opportunity to compete against each other. There are occasions where some competitions enable the competitors to practice quite a lot before they arrive and almost be able to come in and do their entry blindfolded. And so for this particular exercise, we felt it was important that they work in normal kitchen conditions, not show kitchen conditions. This makes it so that we can see what they can do, and it makes them a lot more confident because they can then present themselves in a much better light.
There are 2 apprentices from each college, and for most, it's the first time they've ever competed in a culinary competition, and that adds to the excitement and nervousness they're feeling. Everyone concerned with the event is a little anxious and hopes that with all the weeks of planning, everything will run smoothly. The apprentices wonder if their skills and knowledge can stand up to the competition with others. Everyone wants to win. For the scorers of the most marks, there's the triumph of taking home the golden chef's hat to put in their college's trophy case until the next challenge in 2 years' time. And as well, they'll be going with second and third runners-up to represent Australia in the next Taste of Canada competition in Toronto in April 1989. They all know that this is the start of the road that leads to other international culinary competition with the Frankfurt Olympics and worldwide recognition. It's not easy to be a judge. They know just how each competitor is feeling. Every member of the panel has taken part in similar events, and they know the strain of competing. Day after day, they make verdicts on a consistently impartial basis. They are looking for a variety of factors as they judge. First, they check to see if the criteria laid down in the entry form is met. As well, they award points for composition, skill of decoration, creativity, presentation, and most importantly, how the food tastes. Hans Bushkens gives us an outline.
Well, there's actually two reasons that I'm in Australia. Number one, I received an invitation from the CIA to be the chairman of the Australian jury, so to call. I'm the only non-Australian in the jury. The reason why is because as ambassador of the World Association of Cook Society, Australia is one of our members. Not only the value of student competition, but the value in general competition of master chefs or chefs on a global system. Is very important for the simple reason tourism in most of the countries nowadays is number 3 in the industry. People within 24 hours can fly anywhere in the world from where they're located. They expect good food. You might have, for instance, Sydney is a beautiful city, you have a beautiful harbor, nice sunshine, but you must feed the tourists 3 meals a day. So the culinary arts plays a very important part. By the international competition attendance, for instance, of the national team from Australia, in the fall time, which the team has been sponsored by Nestlé Australia for the World Culinary Olympics, the event is in Frankfurt, Germany. They will be using Australian products, so it is of benefits to 3 major ministries in every country, regardless if it is a socialistic country, capitalistic country, or communist country. The benefits are the same. Number 1 for agriculture, because they use the agricultural products. Number 2 for fishery. And number 3 for tourism. So I always say that in my book, the cooks are some of the best ambassadors a country can send abroad. I think the efforts of the students are remarkable for a simple reason. I have seen Australian student teams already before. There was a team 3.5 years ago at the Taste of Canada, the first one in Toronto, and then just recently in July of 1987, an Australian student team placed first during the competition in Vancouver in British Columbia. And it is a remarkable thing, especially when you have 7 different groups here in the morning and 7 in the afternoon representing the major colleges of Australia. And I must say I'm looking very much forward to find out who the winner is by tomorrow night. I will return on July the 1st, and I look forward to hosting the Australian national team with another 19 teams in April of next year during our national Hostex Food and Beverage Show in Toronto, Ontario for the 2nd International World Culinary Student Competition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be involved yet again in for the 2nd time in the Nestle's, or Nestlé, however anybody likes to call it, the Nestle's Golden Chef Hat Award. I think it's well recognized nowadays that throughout the world that Nestlé's Golden Hat symbolizes our recognition of excellence in the field of culinary skills, and we more and more wish to participate in that field. In Australia, from the inaugural Golden Hat event in 1986, Nestlé, in conjunction with the CIA Guild of Cooks, established this contest as a national forum for apprentice competition, and we're firmly committed to maintaining this competition in the future. The growth of our catering industry is reflected in the demand for more qualified people, and I think As we see the development of the industry as well, we see a greater need for internationally qualified people. This year we have entries from 14 colleges throughout Australia, and we would particularly like to welcome those students from Hamilton, Townsville, Alice Springs, as well as Hobart, who are competing for the very first time. We'd also like to congratulate all the contestants who have so capably represented their colleges and displayed very fine work over the period of the competition. Regardless of the outcome of this year's results, we hope everybody has benefited from participating, as well as from the exchange of ideas, skills, and particularly we hope that some of you have made lasting friendships.
At last, the big moment comes as Barry Wright prepares to announce the Golden Chef's Hat winner.
And if Green College would like to come up, we'll give it to them.
For the winners, all the fatigue and problems they've dealt with seem unimportant. For the others, after the disappointment, comes the certainty that they've done their best and next time will do better.
I'd just like to thank everyone, all the competitors, Barry for everything, Hans, all the judges. It's a great thrill to be up here and have 2 medals on you. And I just hope we do well in Canada.
I'd like to thank Nestlé for getting us over here. It costs a lot of money. We've come a long way.
In the tradition of the contest, Barry Wright proposes a toast.
I'd like all the competitors to drink a toast to themselves for their great effort. To yourselves.
For all competitors, it's been an enriching experience. Some have won medals, some have made lifelong friendships, and they've all learned something from each other. There's been a sharing of experiences in other colleges and workplaces. There's been much hard work, little sleep, lots of laughter, and just a few tears. Everyone agrees that the culinary industry has come a long way in our first 200 years and has never looked better in this, our bicentennial year.